please keep up the trigger warnings, and please keep mentioning where the messages are pinned. The conversation does last some time, but it will give you the entire background of Sophie's story from the minute that Kaz came into her life. Whoops, I said it there. From the minute that creator came into her life up until, well, present day, which is a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to play it now. Hi, Sophs. Are you ready? Mods, can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start from the top, my darling. Take your time, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I didn't really originally want to do this, but I came away from Kaz and I tried to heal in the fact that our friendship had broken down. But then seeing the way she's portraying herself all over TikTok, and she's being so awful towards certain creators and her mods and the old mods that have come out, Ronnie and Lydia, saying what they've had to say, and it's the whole truth. Kaz took no accountability for it. Not one sorry. In fact, she was dancing and singing when she opened her boxes, almost like she was celebrating. And it was really, really hard to see. And I've had enough of watching her manipulate people, even including Donna. I've said to you myself, every time I see Donna go live, I'm struggling to watch it because I can see that Kaz manipulating her behind the scenes. So, yeah, I just want to speak about it now because it's killing me. It's absolutely destroying me. And I feel like I need to get it off my chest. When I first came onto TikTok, within like a couple of weeks, I came across Kaz. And it was like on my business account. And I just fell in love with her. I loved her personality. Like, I thought she was really real and really genuine. And I did. I started gifting Kaz quite big, quite often. And it kind of, you kind of feel like it's a nice feeling, you know, when you're seeing that person happy. I don't even like to talk about the whole gifting side of it because it's one of the biggest regrets of mine. And every time I would enter the chat, I wouldn't even have to say hello. She'd see that I joined, and she'd be like, "Oh, hello. What's it? No, say my business name." And she'd always make me known, and I feel like I have to sort of come in and behind the scenes just sort of message me to say, "I've got a big battle tonight. I'd really appreciate if you could help support me, and I'm having a really shitty week this week. It would mean everything to me if you could come and support." And I would. And then the longer I was there, about a year in, she started to like really befriend me. And I heard her on live the other day say that I think it was yesterday, we latched onto her. And it was completely the other way around. She latches onto us. She latches onto any big gifter or anybody she thinks that can benefit her life, whether that's helping her with TikTok or giving her money, gifting, whatever. And we formed, over the course of 3 years, we formed a really strong relationship, to the point that she depended on me for everything. And that was fine. I did feel like she was vulnerable. She would call me, 10, sometimes up to 20 times a day. It was always, I need help with something, or It was about her relationship with Dean. And that was kind of just our relationship. It's just kind of what it was. I felt like a lot of it was one-sided. She didn't treat me like a friend, not like how I treated her. Anyway, that's sort of how our friendship went. And then I then started going through a really rough period of my time, where I was starting to get really unwell. And during that time, I helped her with so much. I helped her set up her lash business. That lash business was literally all on me. I did everything, that lash business. I was trying to source the lashes. I was up all hours in the morning sourcing the lashes. I designed her business cards. I ordered her business cards. I made her TikTok shop. I controlled her TikTok shop. All the packaging, I looked for the packaging. I ordered the packaging. I inquired about different beauty items, like things that she wanted to expand on. I planned how her business live streams would run. Even down to Dean's business, that he was making this jewellery business. I helped with so much. It'd be like, Sophie, can you help with these designs? And I had no problem doing it at the time. Whatever I could do to help, I would. And I never really asked for anything in return because I was just helping a friend out. So everything that I did for her, I never had a problem with. And I never threw it back in her face because that's what friends did. She wasn't very good at that kind of stuff. She couldn't really work things out very well. And I would just help her from having a business in the past. I just felt like I could do it for her.
Yeah.
But then it kind of took the piss because I spent so much time on that business and she didn't really care about it. It was like she didn't want to come away from, she would have to stop her benefits. She would have to declare the money, and she didn't want to. And I said, well, Kaz, that's the risk you've got to take when making a business. You can't have the best of both worlds. You can't be getting gifts on TikTok, running a bit, getting money from the business and have benefits. You can't do that. She's asking if I can put it in my name and for me to receive the money. And I said, absolutely not. No, that's your problem. You're paying the tax. You're doing all of that, not me. So that was that. And just before her business was ready to be launched, I became very unwell and I went into a coma. And it wasn't very long. And apparently she was crying over me on live, and she was speaking to my husband at the time, like he was giving her updates on how I was. And apparently she was distraught. And during that time when I was in a coma, Lydia sort of had to take my place, I guess. She felt that pressure. She felt just a percentage of the pressure that I feel within regards to how much Kaz lent on her because she didn't have me around. And Lydia couldn't cope with it. Even when I came back home and I'd recovered, she said, Sophie, I don't know how you do it. She depended on me so much, to the fact that I felt like I was barely even talking to my own child because Kaz needed me so much. And I know that sounds awful, but when you've got somebody who hounds your phone 20 times a day, panicking, I need you, can you please help me do this? I'm about to have a fucking breakdown, help me. You feel like you have to do it. Even though your kids are supposed to come first.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I did come out of my coma and I recovered and I got home, and the moment I got home, I called her to let her know, I just got home. She didn't once say, oh, I'm glad you're home. Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? What's the plan now? What's going on? Straight away, when she answered the phone, she went, oh, Sophie, I'm so relieved. Look, I know, I'm sorry, you've just come out of a coma. I know you've just got home, but can we please talk about my business? I've just been panicking because I can't do it without you, and I've got all this stock and I can't get it out there without you. And I felt like, excuse me? I'm not in a right frame of mind to talk about your business right now. I've literally just got home. I was high off my head on painkillers, like, but so that was that. I was like, okay. And again, maybe, I don't know, like when I look back at it now, I really do feel like, Sophie, what the fuck were you playing at? Like, you would never, ever in a million years let anybody walk all over you, let anybody treat you like shit, and you allowed her to. Why? And there was many times in our friendship I did feel hurt, for example, like that moment. But I just carried on because, she didn't really have many people around, and I just continued being there for her. And I loved Kaz. Like, Kaz for me she was family. Even her mum was like my family. I adored them. That was that, and time went on, and then, you know, the whole thing with Dean and the whole DV relationship. Kaz relied heavily on me again to be pretty much the mediator in their relationship every day or every other day. Like, their relationship is, or was, you know, I don't know it now, but was the most toxic relationship I've ever heard of. And I was constantly getting calls. I'm gonna fucking myself. Please tell him to come home. If he doesn't come home, I'm gonna SH. Like, and I'm like, hold on a minute, Kaz, you need to calm down. She's telling me she's gonna jump off the thing. You know, there was one time we was on FaceTime, and I'll never forget it. And she was in the kitchen and she pulled out a knife. This was not long after I got out of a coma. And she pulled out a knife and she put it to her neck. And said, I would do it. This is what he's pushing me to. And, like, you know, I calmed her down. Like, Kaz, you need help. There was countless amount of times where I called her mum. I said to Kaz, like, you need proper help. I can't help you like this anymore. Like, I had so much pressure on me to make sure she was okay. I'm calling her mum, like, you know, I'm scared. What, she's going to do this to herself? And her mum's like, look, I've been through this so many times. Like, you know, this is... She used to even turn around to me and say, look, I'll go and see her. I'll go and speak to her. But look, she's done this so many times. Just don't give her a reaction. But how can you not give it a reaction? You know, I said she needs to be sectioned. I'm saying to her mummy, she needs to be sectioned. Like, I will call the ambulance right now. Like, just come on, like, because I couldn't handle it anymore. I'm sat there. I'm really unwell myself, and all I can do is worry about her and think about her. And she sort of had the nerve. I found out through one of her mods that had left the toxic mod group, that she turned around and said the reason why me and Lydia aren't mods anymore, because she had to kind of say something, because me and Lydia were like her. It was a shock when me and Lydia left, you know?
Yeah.
Because they knew we did everything for her. And she turned around and said, apparently I gave her an ultimatum. And I said to her, look, you either choose Dean or you choose me. Which, why would I ever say that? Ever? I mean, I'll go into my reasons as to why I stopped disliking Dean anyway, but why would I ever say that? And two, apparently it's because I was too involved in their relationship. And that hurt, because I never wanted to be involved in their relationship. She would force me to be involved in their relationship, because then Dean would be calling me. I can't fucking handle it anymore. She's chucked me out, she's thrown me out again, or she's calling me, telling me I need to come back, otherwise she's going to hurt herself. And that's what Dean would have to deal with. And I remember there being a time when Kaz was begging for Dean to come back, and she said that she was going to hurt herself unless he came back, and that he came back. I mean, I've actually got a voice recording of him saying that, well, of their conversation. It would be like all the time. She'd make me stay on the phone while they're having arguments because she wanted me to. She was scared. She was worried. When I look back on it now, I don't think she really was scared of Dean. I'll be honest. I think it's because she wanted me to hear how he speaks to her, and he did shout at her. He did, but he's being pushed. He's being pushed into a corner. There was a time where I was in hospital, and they were having an argument. I was watching her on live, and she turned around saying that she had just gotten out of hospital or something like that. So I texted her in the mud chat, and I said, because I hadn't been in the mud chat the past couple of days because I've been in hospital, and I texted her and said, I just heard you're in hospital. You weren't, were you? Because if she was, she would have called me. And she messaged back in the mod chat saying, no, Soph, I'm so sorry. I just said it so that Dean would come back. I'm so sorry. And she was saying, I'm so sorry, because she knew how wrong that was, because I was the one sitting in a hospital bed, and you're there lying live so that Dean would hear, because she knew that he was watching, saying, I've just come out of hospital. Like, that's sick. It's sick towards Dean also. And don't get me wrong, I'm not Dean's biggest fan. Dean has hurt me in multiple ways. I was there for Dean, like he used to say to me, you're like a sister to me. I was there for him so much. Again, I felt like I carried him. Oh my God, the amount of doctor's appointments I try and get him to go to, therapy. Like I felt like all I was doing was trying to sort these two out and help them because they were struggling. When in actual fact, everything was self-inflicted. Like I listened to something that Kaz said the other day. I can't remember word for word. And he said on live, and he said, if somebody is suffering with mental health, genuine mental health, because they're going through something horrific or something along the lines of that, then of course help them. But if they're struggling because of something that's self-inflicted, then what are you supposed to do? And it's so true. Like, all these times when Kaz would say that she was going to hurt herself or she's depressed or all these things, they're all self-inflicted. Because you then come on TikTok that same day and go and bash other creators. And then, then they're going to bash you back. And then you cry about it again and say that your mental health's really bad. But then just stop. Like, just stop it. But yeah, our relationship was really bad.
Throughout all of this, I think it's important because obviously I've listened and heard your story. We've spoke about this before. But throughout all of this, you know, it's important to remember that you have been, still are, fighting a terrible disease, you know, which has affected your life in many, many ways. So it's, you know, in context, even if you weren't, it's still just as bad, but it's been further compounded by, you know, what you're going through right now.
But that's what I'm struggling with. Is the fact that, you know, I don't have I know I'm dying, right? And since finding out I was terminal, I lost everything in that process. You know, my husband left me, and I was friends with Kaz while that was going on. I lost everything. I had everything taken away from me.
You closed your business as well, didn't you? You closed your own business.
Yeah, I closed my own business. I think people were thinking that I closed my business to become MK Guidance and to sort of be her manager, and that's not really the case. I closed my business because I'd become unwell and I couldn't cope with it. It was taking on so many orders. I was working till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I dropped the kids to school and I'd be working then up until 3 a.m. and it was hard. It was putting a lot of strain in my body. And then when I gave it up, sort of Kaz said, look, why don't you sort of become my manager in a sense? A manager that wasn't getting paid for it.
And a manager who's incredibly poorly already and has on top closed their business because they can't manage their own business, you know?
And I said to her that, look, I don't be sort of like your manager, but I'll help you with things here and there, like I normally do anyway. But actually, the pressure of Kaz was worse than my business.
Tell me about that.
It was 100 times worse. It just never ended. Like, every single thing she would do on TikTok, every single thing she would have to call me about it. Can I do this? Is it okay if I do this? Can you find me pictures on this? Can you write me TikTok captions? Can you give me video ideas? Can you message every single one of my gifters and ask them to be there for my battle? The mod chat, can you message every single one of my mods and tell them to do this and tell them to do that? It was just constant. And if I wasn't there for a battle at Reset, for example, bearing in mind I'm sick, right, and Reset battles are at 12 a.m. If I wasn't there, I'd be made to feel guilty. Oh, it was such a shame you weren't there for my battle. Like, I really needed you there. I had no one to support me, and I know you would have supported me. It's just such a shame. Like, I thought out of everybody, you would be there. And I'm like, Kaz, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. But yeah, that was, I can't, do you know what? I can't even put words how much I did for her in regards to TikTok. I said to you the other day, I put her life in front of mine, and I will never, ever, ever forgive myself for that. Ever.
And you know, I've told you that you need to forgive yourself and be kind to yourself.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I know.
I'm trying. The longer I'm away from Kaz, the more I'm realising how stupid I was and how manipulated I was. And I thought I was doing this all for a friend, because she was a friend. Like, I know we met through TikTok, but she was a friend. And, you know, I met her in real life and we've had a good time. She was a friend. But she did manipulate me. She did. And I'm seeing her do it to everyone. But yeah, I put her life in front of mine. I'd be, honestly, you know, I came out of a coma, and that was, I felt like I never recovered from that because of Kaz. Because I felt like she needed me more than I needed. I needed to help her more than I needed help. I don't know, it's because I'm kind of that kind of person. Like, I do anything for anybody, and if I see somebody that's hurt and upset, I do put my feelings aside and my needs aside, and I help that person. And now I'm realising I will regret that because I don't have that I don't have that long left, and I've wasted the last 3 years of my life putting her in front of myself. And I'll never get over it. I'm really trying. when I distanced myself away from Kaz. But I did get help. I did get therapy because I'm like, was I really that weak?
You're not weak, Sophie. You're not weak. You're a kind, generous, beautiful, wonderful human that loved with your entire heart and based your relationship on trust and friendship, which is what you thought you were getting. I've told you since we've met, since you came to me, that you are one of the most vulnerable people that I have met. And I know you feel some type of way that you don't want people to think that,
Hello?
you don't.
Sorry, I think my signal went.
That's all right. So I was just saying that you're one of the most vulnerable people that I've met in a while, and everything that you're saying, this was something that struck to me, and I thought, you shouldn't even be having to say all of this. You shouldn't even be having to say I feel weak or I felt weak, because morally, no human, especially not a creator on TikTok, especially when you're in a situation like this, should be approaching you and putting you in that situation. So, and I've told you this is not your fault, and you are not weak.
The thing is, I obviously, when we did become friends, I didn't even really see Kaz as a TikToker. Like, I actually used to beg Kaz, just stop it, just give it up. Like, go and do hairdressing, go and do something that you really love. Or, like, pursue this lash business. Like, just come away from TikTok. I was begging her to come away from TikTok because I didn't like the person she was becoming.
Yeah.
And TikTok was turning her into this nasty, bitter person. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, there's so many things she did in regards to other creators and I just didn't agree with. I helped her with, and I'm so ashamed of it. She makes you hate all these other creators. Like, every single creator everybody watches has been slagged off and has been made out to be a bad person. Every single one. And I never really watched anybody else because I never had time to. Because whenever Kaz is live, I would have to watch, or she would be ringing my phone before I'm coming live, make sure you're there, I need you there, I can't do this without you. And then when she's not on TikTok, I'm constantly being hounded on the phone. I'm not resting, I'm not looking after myself. I didn't really see her as a TikToker. Like, it genuinely was a friendship, I guess.
Yeah, it was a friend.
But this is my whole point in the fact that what I am struggling with, like, now that I'm away from her, I am realising the emotional manipulation. It was the constant that she was going to hurt herself. But then she'd go back on live the same day. Seriously, she'd say to me that she can't do this no more, and she's going to hurt herself. And she said, I'm sorry to say this, I'll never forget this. She said to me on a phone call, I'm sorry to say this, but I think by the end of the day, you're not going to have me as a friend anymore. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, because I won't be here anymore. And that night, I kid you not, she's then on TikTok doing battles, dancing. And I'm like, back then I didn't really see it. I'm like, oh, I'm glad she's feeling better. I'm glad she's feeling better. But now I think to myself, no, these were all just things that you were saying to me so that I would do things for you. And it was so that you could probably get gifts or you could probably get this and that. Yes, towards the end of our friendship, I did stop gifting because I lost everything. I lost everything, And I'm not saying she wasn't there for me in regards to money, because sometimes she was. Like when my husband left me and I was left with nothing, she did help me. There was times that she'd say, do the kids need anything? Do the kids need any food? And she'd help. But I kind of almost felt like she had to do those things because of how much I've spent on her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go into how much I spent on her, but it's
It's substantial.
Amount of money.
Yeah, it's a substantial amount of money.
And that was just, gifting on TikTok is a substantial amount of money, and then everything off that was a substantial amount of money. I was just struggling to see the emotional manipulation that is going on. And I feel like I've said to Kaz so many times, when I first walked away from her, I said to her, like, you in the whole 3 years of our friendship, even when I came out of a coma, even when I told you about my cancer, you've never asked if I'm okay. You've never once asked, are you okay? Never. And like the final straw for me, and she knows that was the final straw for me when I walked away, was when I was in the hospital having fluid removed from my brain, and she called me. And I've been slowly sort of distancing myself from her. We weren't really speaking every day. And she knew that. She even said to me, like, I'm being a bad friend, aren't I? I'm being a bad friend. And I said, actually, Kaz, like, yeah, you are. Because you're not asking if I'm okay. You don't ask me if I'm okay. You don't ask. You're not there for me emotionally.
Yeah.
And I was in the hospital. I was getting fluid removed from my brain. And she called me and I answered. And you'd think that I'd answer and she'd say, hey, babe, how are you? Like, is it all going okay? You feeling all right?
Yeah.
No. I answered the phone. I went, hi, hello. And she went, hi. She goes, just a quick one. Here with me, and I was just wondering if you could help us, give us some advice on how we should come back on TikTok. This is after the whole DV thing. She said, because obviously, like, we know we're going to get a lot of hate when we come back online. So can you just give us a bit of advice? And I went, Kaz, I'm in the hospital. Oh yeah. Okay, well, don't worry about it. And that was it. That was it for me. I was like, you actually don't care. Like, you really don't care. You just took from me.
Mm-hmm. When you walked away from her in that moment, you've left Kaz. What happens after that?
Oh my God, what did happen after that? I got called constantly. I got abused constantly. Unknown calls, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, not leaving me alone. I have blocked her. I have deleted her messages. I just seeing her triggers me massively.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing her pop up on my screen, texting me, triggers me massively.
How do you feel when you see her now, and when you see her pop up, or where she was sort of harassing you on phone calls and text messages, and like you said to me, she was like watching it every move, every post you're gonna like.
Every move, every move. She turned around and sent somebody. She sent one of the mods one of my TikTok videos of me losing my hair.
Yeah.
Which was very vulnerable of me to do.
It was really brave.
And she sent one of my videos to one of the mods. She said, I guess this is it for her then. And she said, I guarantee you her last dying wish would be to take me down on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? No, that is not my last time wish. But
I love you, Sophs. You've got this. Take your time.
I literally cannot watch anybody else be manipulated by this person. When I saw Ronnie become a mod, it was seeing everything all over again. And I'm like, to the room, and she'd be like, Ronnie, how am I doing? Am I doing good? Because she's just, I don't know, slated a creator or she's done something. She's like, how am I doing, Ronnie? Am I doing good? Let me know. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just me all over again. And I'm watching Ronnie being emotionally manipulated and saying to you and saying to Lydia, how can I reach out to him? Like, can I reach out to him? Because at the same time, he's probably been told all this shit about me, about how I don't know, I was so nasty to her and all this kind of stuff that he probably won't believe me. So it's almost like you have to see it for yourself. And then he did.
Yeah, he did.
And I swear to you, the relief when Ronnie saw it for himself. And now actually we speak regularly, and I think Ronnie is an incredible person. And he's hurt. And it's like, how many more times are you going to do this? You're doing it to everyone. You're doing it to Donna. And seeing Donna coming on yesterday and talking about, because everybody's like, you know, are you going to address the whole Kaz and her mod situation? And she did eventually come on and address it, but she looked forced. Like, I have been upset with the whole thing with Zach and Donna. I have. It really upset me seeing Zach the way that he was, and yeah, that was awful. But seeing, I do think a lot of that, she has Kaz in her ear. I can guarantee she has Kaz in her ear. And I saw Donna yesterday, and she does. She looks unwell. She looks unwell because she looks broken, and that was hard to watch. But it almost felt like she was forced to do that. And then I see Kaz come in, and Kaz is making herself known in Donna's chat, and she's sending gifts to make sure that she's one of, like, you know, you can see the top gifter at the top. And she was there the whole time. Felt like Kaz was making sure her presence was known, and so that Donna knew that Kaz was watching. And I can almost guarantee throughout the last few weeks of their relationship, their friendship, I can guarantee Kaz has gone to Donna and said that she's going to SH, or she's going to do something to herself. And Donna's feeling like she has to be there for Kaz, and she can't speak out on Kaz because she's scared for Kaz in case she's going to hurt herself. I can guarantee that happened.
It sounds so like it. And we talked about this, but you seeing this sort of happen and unfold has kind of like triggered you in the sense of you can kind of sense it and feel it because it's happened to you, so you can see it happening again almost.
Yeah, I can see it happening to. Yeah, I can see it happening to Donna. Like their friendship. I don't know. Donna might think it's real, but I know Kaz doesn't think it's real. Kaz uses everyone around her. Everyone. And the worst thing is, I don't even know if Kaz knows she's doing it. Or this is just the type of person she is. But, like, I know this, I know you're going to say it doesn't, but I know this makes me look weak because I feel weak.
I know you do.
And this is one thing that I've been struggling with and why I had to get therapy. Imagine saying you had to go get therapy over a friendship on fucking TikTok. That makes me feel weak. Because I'm not that type of person. I would never let anybody walk all over me, anybody use me, anybody rinse me. She's destroyed me. I would never get those years back. It's something that I'm really struggling to make peace with.
You know, talking today and sharing this is going to start your journey to heal. I know, because we've been talking for a while now, and I know it's taken you a lot to share some of this, if not all of this, and you found it incredibly painful and difficult. And still, even now, you're thinking about other people because you don't want anybody else to go through what you've gone through.
Yeah, like, I'm not just doing this for myself. Like, I tried having it out with Kaz. I just don't. She doesn't get it.
Yeah.
She doesn't get it. But I've watched Zach. I'm not standing for it anymore. She keeps saying that Zach is the
instigator,
and yeah. In this, and he's constructing all of this. He's not.
Yeah, he's not.
Zach's heard my story. You know, I love being part of the hive. Mm-hmm. He's heard other mod stories and he's furious.
Yeah, and you know, this is the thing is, the Z Hive have kind of adopted you and looked after you, if you like, and you are part of the Z Hive now, and really no one knows your story. So the support that they've given you is based on just the fact that they love you. They love you and you're part of the family. And, I know, Zach knows, we've had a discussion and he's aware of some of these things. And he's done the right thing by you. And because it's your story, Sophie, no one else's. If he was this ogre that she says he is, then he would have used the story and ran with it for clout, surely. But what he's done is he's supported you off the app. He's in any way he can, and we've all been there, and you know that we've got you, and I've got you, and we're going to get through this, and this is the first step in terms of you trying to heal even a little bit while you can. But I think, I know that this has pushed you, like it's just like a bottle of pop that's been shaken over and over again, and it's just exploded this week because it's.
Oh, it is. Like yesterday, I had that complete breakdown to Lydia Ronnie, just seeing her live and not taking any accountability. She's seen Ronnie and Lydia talk about her.
Yeah.
If you had any heart, why not reach out to her to sorry if I ever made you feel that way. Yeah. I didn't realise things are this bad. No accountability, just nothing.
I think it's important. And I just want to be clear for everyone listening. This is I'm just helping Sophie recall information and bits and bobs because there's a lot in there, Soph. But it's the consistent hounding behind the scenes, which I've witnessed, I've seen, to the point where I've had to message her to tell her, to leave you alone.
I begged you. I said, please, can you get Kaz to leave me alone? Yeah. She would not leave me alone. She told me she'd called the police on me.
Yes, she has.
She called me to say, I'm sorry to do this to you. I know you're sick, but I have to protect myself. And I had called the police on you and Zach. Mm-hmm. Contacted me saying, how could you support Zach over me? Mm-hmm. Out of anyone, you go and support Zach. And I'm like, I can support whoever I like. Leave me alone. I walked away from you. Leave me alone. The hounding.
Yeah. Consistent. You, Lydia, Ronnie, even me to some degree. It's been consistent since you walked away.
She's been vile towards you. I know why she's gunning for Zach. I've said this to you. I've said this to Zach. And I've been feeling guilty over it. She's gunning for Zach because of me. I know she is. I know she is deep down. She's so hurt that Zach supports me. And she has a feeling that Zach knows these things. She's thinking, God, what if Sophie said to Zach? You know, what she put in her group chat when Ronnie showed the screenshot the other day. And she said, I've known this girl for 3 years. I've bent over backwards for her. And she has ammo on me. Like, you've bent over backwards for me.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at this. Let's look at this. What have you actually walked away with from this friendship, relationship, whatever?
Not apart from being in pain. Like...
Exactly. That's it, you know.
I swear to you, Zara, like, I know me having cancer, like, you know, that's just, nobody can help that. Nobody's done that to me. This is just, it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But the way that I put her life in front of mine, there were so many times I was becoming unwell because of how much stress she was putting onto me. And even when I went into the coma, they said, you're under so much stress. Why are you under so much stress? And they think that the thing that happened with me, I'm not going to go into detail why it happened, why I went into a coma, but it was stress related.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting the blame on anybody, but I knew in that moment I need to sort of just rest and calm down and just look after myself. But yeah, I'm getting calls and calls and calls with her. She can't cope with it anymore. She can't deal with it anymore. And I'm thinking, right, I'm okay now. I'm out of hospital. I'm resting. But let me give my energy to her again. In fact, it destroyed me. Like, I can't get over it. I'm supposed to be enjoying what time I've got left, being with my kids, making memories. But I'm just broken. I feel like she's changed me as a person. Like, I've never felt so weak in my life, and I'm ashamed to say it. How can somebody turn you into being such a weak person?
Sophie, listen, you're not a weak person, and I know I've said it over and over, and I know that you still feel that, and your feelings are so valid. They are so valid, and they are real.
I just don't know what she's done to me. I want. This is why I went to therapy, to try and get some understanding.
Yeah.
As to why I feel the way that I do. And, you know, she did bring up a lot of the time it's emotional blackmail. It was financial blackmail, it was emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
And now I see it, but now I do see it. Now it hurts even more because she's done something to me that I can't explain. Look at yesterday. And I had a panic attack just by hearing the things that she said. So it's like, then I feel like I need to come away from TikTok. But like, why should I? I enjoy TikTok. Because since I've come away from Kaz, I've actually found good creators on there that I love watching.
You shouldn't have to come off TikTok.
And all this time, I thought they were bad people. Like,
yeah.
I was being told how bad Zach was and how DG destroyed her life, like, and how Gracie destroyed her life, and all these creators. But actually, they're nothing wrong with them. It was just all you. You couldn't cope with the fact that they were doing so well on the app. You couldn't cope with it.
So in terms of your healing and stuff, you know, we've talked, and I just want everyone to know Sophie has all of the support structures in place. And you have a support structure around you, emotionally and financially. At the moment, you're still trying to work them out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a work in progress. And you know the right help is being put into place. It's an ongoing thing, but it's something that you're kind of left with, that you're kind of picking up the pieces at the moment, is where you're at and how you're feeling.
Yeah, but I just want to say I'm never going to speak directly to Kaz. We all know she's listening.
What do you want to? You're not going to speak directly. What do you? Here we go.
Believe whatever Kaz has told you, which is fine. You know, again, it's manipulation. I'm sure she told you she's going to do something to herself, or she's been crying down the phone or whatever. But don't put your life on hold for her. Stop running around for her. Stop taking breaks in your work so that you can answer the phone and do things for her. Don't feel guilty because you want to go on holiday or you want to spend time with your kids, but Kaz is hounding you to say, look, I've got no mods on live, can you be here, please? Just stop. Is there anything you want to say to Kaz? No. No. I love you, Soph. I absolutely adore the bones off you, and I think you're one of the most bravest, courageous, wonderful humans. And for you to do this today, I know it's taken you so much, and it's why we've pre-recorded it, because your health comes first, and obviously you've got little children as well. I do want to say one thing. Go on. The other day, when you went on live, just after Ronnie and Lydia went live, and you looked into the camera, right at the end, you looked in the camera, and you said to the other mod that Ronnie and Lydia were talking about, think about what you're doing, think about what you're about to do. You tried to shut me down in that moment. Yeah. You tried blackmailing me in that moment. Mm-hmm. And if anything, yeah, you did. You did make me feel incredibly small. And you did make me cry for the rest of the night. But you made me want to do this even more. And to say that if we speak out about you, we're going to have your blood on our hands. Because I'm dying, right? And there was a point you made me feel like I didn't want to be here anymore. Just sit on that. But what you're doing to other people. But what you're doing to other people. Just the amount of people that have come forward to me. I know everybody says that TikTok is just an app, it's not real life. But how some creators can make people feel off the app is real life. Yeah. And I just want to move forward from it now. Because I'm so unhappy. And everybody says to me, just focus on your health. Don't even worry about cash, just focus on your health. Of course I'm trying to focus on my health. But when something has destroyed you mentally, and you're struggling to get past it, you have to go to therapy over it. It's hard. Yeah. What do I want to say there? So, thank you for sharing that. I know it's been incredibly hard, and I know everyone's going to have loads of questions and stuff. And I'll address that in the live. It's not going to be a question answer. This is your life, this is your story, and this is your truth and your feelings. And for you to share this to others is spreading awareness about how manipulative this person is and what they've done to you when you were at your most vulnerable. Not just whilst you were supporting them actively, but even when you tried to walk away, they have relentlessly hounded you
and I've seen it to the point where I've asked them to stop. And that was literally only about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, to get text messages to say you're supposed to be sick.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, all you want to do is troll me. How have I trolled you?
Mm-hmm.
How have I trolled you? What, because you've been watching my every move and seeing me in Zach's live and seeing me in other creators' lives, and you think that I'm trolling you. I'm not. I'm not trolling you. I'm not a troll.
You're not a troll.
I'm not.
You're a queen. And I think everyone that's listening to this, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, will say, yeah, Sophie's a queen. And you need to keep that now close to your chest. You're a queen. You're amazing. You're wonderful. And you deserved better. And I'm sorry this happened to you.
Yeah, and I'm also sorry for your abuse you're getting. I know you can take it.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure more's going to come anyways. I've been threatened, just like you have. I've been, but sent screenshots that she's going to share and stuff. And, that's why we're here today, because we've stayed quiet for a while, and especially you, right, Soph? But eventually everyone reaches their limit. And it's about time real people on this app, use their voices and not be bullied and harassed by some creators. And I hope this inspires and gives other people the confidence to speak up. And Sophie, this is part of your legacy. You're amazing. Well done, darling. Okay. I love you. Love you. Bye. Thank you. Love Bye. You. After that call, Sophie did message me again. She did message me again. There was something else that... Sorry, I'm just looking for it. That she wanted to add on that she forgot to say. I'm sorry this is a little bit bitty, but as I said, with Sophie's memory in terms of her health up and down, that's why we've tried to piece it together like this. I want to give a trigger warning again. I want to apologise that we're having to bring this to the platform. And I'm going to play this and then I'll finish talking. Also, I feel like there was just so much more I could have said, but I felt like that was kind of enough. But I did want to touch on, when I went to therapy, I had to write down a list of everything I had done for her so that I know it was kind of like a way, I don't know, it was just processing everything I had done, and I wanted to read it out to you. Setting up her lash business, including sourcing the lashes, spending hours late at night messaging suppliers, designed her business card, made her TikTok shop, searched for packaging, inquiring about other beauty items, planned how her business live streams would run, asked countless times advice on Dean's business, searching for products for Dean's business, sorting her household bills, calculating her bills and calling her providers and speaking on her behalf, speaking to the doctors on her behalf, paid for her to get a private ultrasound done, tried getting down to the bottom of her health issues, which that was just constant. Planning her content, messaging mods, having to call Dean after every argument because Kaz had begged me to help, finding reset battles, planning her meals as she struggled to cook, doing online food shops and paying sort of be on the phone with her. I'd be on mute, but I'd be on the phone to her when she'd be on the phone to the council or the benefit office to help her with what to say, because she couldn't really know what to say when it came to those kind of things. Everything in regards to Alpha Bar, helped her find a solicitor in regards to Alpha Bar. That was a lot. On the phone to the police in regards to
Dean a lot. Elphaba, Kaz couldn't do these things on her own. So she would ask the police, look, I've got my friend with me. She's going to help me explain the situation, and I would. Then hours and hours of my days being there on the phone just so she couldn't feel alone. She hated to feel alone. So we would just spend hours on the phone, sometimes not just saying nothing, just while I'm in the middle of cooking or doing something with the kids, just so she doesn't feel like she's on her own. And I know some of the other mods had to do that as well. When she got back with Dean after the whole DV thing, she ghosted me. Dean didn't like her speaking to me because Dean didn't like me because I was helping Kaz, and I didn't like Dean because Dean turned around and texted me saying, not being funny, Sophie, I couldn't care less if you're dying of cancer. This is in the midst of an argument. And I said to Kaz, I can't forgive him for that. So because I couldn't forgive him for that, Kaz felt like she couldn't speak to me while she was with Dean. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say now. I think I've said a lot.
Just going to take a minute. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's
You're
just
right, Carl, first. Are you all right?
me.
Yeah, and is Soph all right?
I think she's all right. I've just messaged her. If she wants to talk, by the way, guys, it's not that Sophie's choosing not to. It's that if she's able to, she will. If she chooses not to, that's her right. See, this is the thing. I'm not vulnerable. Zach, you know, we've talked about this for months, and we also know that Kaz has got to be in a bonnet because I'm friends with you. Sophie's friends with you. She thinks we're all conspiring against her, and actually the jealousy is real from that camp. I mean, the hate that you, me, and especially Sophie, hate, harassment, condescending, aggressive, argumentative messages, rude
The indirect videos.
indirect videos, the threatening, I'm going to expose you. Does that know you sent this? Everything that you guys have seen, let me tell you, has been a daily occurrence. And now all you guys understand what's been going on behind the scenes and why she's been coming for Zach. And unfortunately, fortunately, because Zach has morals and because he's kind and caring, and yeah, he's made mistakes, and one day he's going to tell his story, and I will tell my part of your story, won't I, as well? Because, you know, we've gone through stuff as well, which Kaz is desperate to cause trouble with. But this now gives you reprise because actually this is what's been going on behind the scenes. And obviously you couldn't say anything. Like you said, this is Sophie's story.
It's been the hardest couple of months, like, to see how she's treated Sophie as well. Like, me and the Hive got Sophie some wigs and a cuddle jumper just to make her feel a bit better in herself. And the next day, Kaz posted, I was speaking to Sophie, and I said, oh, what colours do you want? You know, like, try something new. She said, oh, I wouldn't mind going blonde. So I got her a blonde one as well. And next day, Kaz posts a video taunting her in a blonde wig.
Yeah.
Taking a piss.
And oh, by the way, we're not going to start firing up screenshots. We're not going to start firing up screenshots. PC. So we have receipts for all of this. And Ronnie got a bit of backlash, and I've heard other creators say, oh, you know, our mods shouldn't really fire up a live. They're just as complicit as the creator. They were involved. I think that's just a disgusting way to look at it. You know, that's a very granular, two-dimensional way of looking at it. When you're in that environment and you feel like you're part of a family and you're going through something and your heart is filling with, I've been there myself, and I've never been vulnerable, but when I joined the app, there was a vulnerability about me because I was grieving. I'd lost my best friend, and TikTok was an escape. And this is what happens to a lot of gifters viewers who then become mods. And so does that make me as bad as the creator? No. I was incredibly naive when I joined TikTok. And this is what you're hearing from Sophie. She's now beating herself up because of that naivety, because she leads with her heart. She's a good person. Does that make her the same person just because she was in the mod chat? Just because Ronnie and Lydia were in the mod chat, are they just the same? So if you're out there in boxes, jumping up and down, saying, oh, well, the mods shouldn't really be firing up lives, well, why not? They've got voices. The viewers have got voices. The gifters have got voices.
They're the people that put us where we are today.
Say that again, Zan?
They're the people that put us where we are. What people don't understand is that the moderators, the people in the chat, gifters, tappers, sharers, all of those people that play a part in a live are the very reason why some of us creators are where we are.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know, the thing is, she's been told that many times, leave Sophie alone. She's called Sophie a troll. Every time Sophie came in your live or Sophie liked a post, I'd get a message, why is she doing this? Who are you talking to? Even me, I'm a grown woman and I'm not scared of you, babes. And I know you're going to be listening, and I know the roadman's going to come out. You're going to come swinging. I already know you're going to come swinging. Come on, girls.
It's going to be going.
Come and fight me. Pick on someone your own fucking size and pick on someone who's not as vulnerable. I've kept my mouth shut this long because we needed to make sure Sophie was in a position where she felt comfortable sharing this story. But that poor girl's had to sit on this for fucking months. Zach's had to sit on it in months. And you can send me 50,000 messages a day to threaten to out me. Go for it. Go for it. Tell the whole world. Because do you know what, babes? You've got zero fucking credibility. Honestly. Do you know what? I wrote a list. Because, listen, like I said, me and Kaz have got history and I'm flexing now because I've been holding it. I've been holding this in, right? That's the day. Right. It's the selfishness, the arrogance. She's conceited, self-centered, emotionally abusive, coercive, controlling. She's jealous, so she gets vindictive, financially manipulates. You heard Sophie, the amount of SH messages and pictures and whatever else, threats to harm if Sophie isn't there or isn't available. And the constant, even when Sophie's at her bitter end, and I've seen it, I've witnessed it with my own eyes. We don't need to send screenshots. There's no empathy. She exploits the situation, uses this SH as a weapon, malicious, hounds people. People walk away. Sophie and your ex-mods have a right to walk away. I have a right to walk away. Ronnie has a right to give to who he wants. Zach has a right to make mistakes and do wrong from right and start again. He does not deserve to have his past shoved down his face, down his throat every 5 minutes whilst he's on live. So today's message really is, well, you're done now. And anybody after hearing this who chooses to gift her, support her as a mod, and I'm talking to all you creators now, every single one of you out there, all of you, because I watch. And I'm talking on behalf of every fucking gifter as well, by the way, because I speak to a lot of them as well. But every single creator, shame on you if after today you decide to go and battle her and give her that fucking airtime for even 3 minutes. Shame on you.
She deserves nothing. She deserves nothing.
She has, and this is the thing, everything she has accused Zach of financial exploitation, taking something who is at end of life, that's projecting, Kaz, and that's what you've done. You've projected it because I know, Sophie knows, Lydia knows, we all know the truth. So you try and spin this now and see what happens. All I'm going to say is there is a pattern of behaviour. It's not happened to one mod, not two mods, not three mods, 4 mods. We've got a whole fucking list of people. It's also happened to creators, and it's also happened to gifters like me, because she's done exactly the same thing to me, but she doesn't rear up as hard as she does with Sophie and her mods to me, or you, does she, Zach, really?
She'll be intimidated.
Exactly. So my message is, if you're going to pick on someone, come and pick on me. And if you're going to come on live and start flapping your gums, let's have a minute and think about what Sophie's going through, what she's gone through. And don't you dare come on this app and say she's a liar, because she's not. Don't you dare use your mental health as a weapon again. Don't you dare try and spin this that you're the victim, because you are not the victim. Sophie is the victim. Your mods are the victims. You've had thousands of pounds off this app and you've done fuck all with it. And all you do is sit in your living room, spitting shit out of your mouth, being nasty, and then start crying because people clap back. Fix up. Fix up, because that's not how a woman fucking behaves. That's how a roadman behaves.
Ooh. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So listen, I just want to thank everybody, and I'm sorry, this is not my jam. I like you. Those guys that remember my lives last year, we like to have a drink and have a little bit of fun and play some music and do some fun shit.
Sophie needed a voice, and she needed people around her that would listen. And, you know, if she had come on herself and told this story, she would have just got hounded on, and Kaz would have just done what she could to silence her, you know. So, and everyone in the hive as well that's taken Sophie and Lydia and Ronnie under your wings and like embraced them. Like, I'm just proud of everyone, man. I really am. There's a good, there are good people.
I just want to remind people of the helpline numbers again that are pinned on mine and Zach's posts. I want you guys to reach out to the Z Hive moderators. The moderators in my chat are the same, much the same. We're all one big family now.
She's looking after my dogs.
Yeah, I do. I've got the doggies this week as well. Bless them. I don't think I'm going to give them back to him.
You can
it's taken Sophie a lot. It's taken the mods a lot. You know, if she comes back, she does. Sophie's told her story, and I hope you guys in the chat now can be Sophie's voice. I hope you guys use your voice to do what's right on this app, and I would urge everyone to gift responsibly and really get to know the people that you are supporting. I've learnt the hard way. A lot of us have learnt the hard way. I've had a lot of time off the app as me, Zara, but I've been on the app and I've been watching everything. The one thing I want to say as well is, Kaz, you need to leave her alone. Don't message her. Don't call her. Don't message me, don't call me, but if you have to, go for it. I can take it, it's not a problem. Give me your worst. Give me your worst. Don't you know where she lives, leave her alone. Don't go there, because we'll come harder, and we'll get the authorities involved. Leave this poor lady alone, and leave your mods who have left you alone. Leave them alone. It doesn't matter what they're doing on the app. Because, darling, it's not all about you. When they're in someone's life, it's not about you. When someone feels some type of way, it's not about you. I've never known anyone so fucking narcissistic in my life. Unbelievably narcissistic and just arrogant. Pattern of behaviour is just terrible. But listen, I'm really happy to see the love in the chat. I'm happy to see that everyone's supporting Sophie. I did this on my platform because, you know, Zach's a victim as well of this. And she's tried to, you know, come between me and Zach. And she's tried to do what she's done with other people as well. And I think it's about time everybody knew. And I'm going to say this, right? This is the start of something. And like this has happened with Kaz, if you guys are taking the piss out there as creators, you will get fucking found out, because we're not standing for this shit anymore. Us viewers, gifters, mods, whatever you want to fucking call us, we're not standing for this. And the one thing I wanted to say is, I really hope these box lives that are popping up, you know, everywhere, are kind and thoughtful and a little bit more
understanding and take a little bit of care and due diligence when they're saying and doing what they're doing.
I pray to God, all you box people that are going to talk about this for the next millennia, do not drag Sophie through anything, because you heard her. This is her escape. This is many people's escape. So really think about going into these boxes. Sorry, think about what you're going to say before you start firing it up these lives, because it's juicy gossip. We haven't come here for that purpose. We have come here to raise awareness about this absolutely vile human, and we hope no one else gets snagged or caught. If you do, it's on you. And like I said, creators, use your voices, because a lot of you are hiding at the minute, trying to stay out of drama, and that's fine, but you've got a platform. Don't leave it to a couple of creators to do all the legwork for you. It's not fair. Thanks, guys, for being here today. Zach, was there anything else that you wanted to say?
I'm proud of the pair of you, and I'm proud of you, Soph. Like what you've had to go through the last 3 years, especially dealing with cancer as well. Like, yeah, it's tough to listen to, but you got it, man.
We've cried a lot, all of us, behind the scenes, and I don't think anyone, will understand. But the one thing that it's done is it's brought us all closer together, and there's nothing but love here. We're good people. Good people do fucked up things and make mistakes. Good people fall off the path. Good people can be naive. We all go through trauma. Sometimes the noddle isn't working very well and we make bad decisions. Doesn't make us bad people. But what this person's done, alongside many others on the app, makes them bad people.
She's an animal. She's awful.
Oh, complete. Yeah. And I'm ready. I'm going to say it again. You've all heard it. There's 1.7k and whoever's cam 2 in it. Come on, girl. Give it to your worst. Come on. If you think you're hard enough, get on your live. Tick. Bullied. Tick. Gifts. Tick.
Fight song, don't forget.
Tick. Which one?
Fight song.
Fight song. Tick. Come on. Let's do this, guys. Let's rev it up. Let's do it. It's an absolute joke.
I'm going to have to shoot because I'm just standing up and I'm doing my farts.
Right, I'll speak to you later, darling. I'll give you a call
I love
later.
you all. Thank you guys as well.
See you later.
Big up.
Love you, darling. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. It's been incredibly hard. I know I'm angry, but I've kept a lid on this for months. And my heart's broken for Sophie, and it always will be. And I stand with Sophie. My her GoFundMe is in my bio. Helpline numbers are on my page, and I just hope everyone can from this live learn, gift responsibly, think about each other, be kinder to each other, and just think before they speak. Because I bet Sophie's isn't the only story out there. We know that others didn't, unfortunately, make it to even tell their story. So don't leave it too late. Guys, thanks, Mods. Mods, you've been absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry if I've upset, hurt, offended anyone. I apologise if anyone has felt this is distasteful, that it shouldn't have been covered. It's very easy to have an opinion. Try and live in Sophie's shoes for 5 minutes and try and be someone that's trying to support her. And on that note, I'm going to say goodnight. Thanks, guys.